Do you ever find yourself sitting at your desk, mindlessly scrolling through social media or staring out the window when you're supposed to be working? Well, of course you do. We all do that at times. You know, as you sit there, that you have documents to draft or discovery to answer or depositions to prepare for. You need to work on the content for your marketing or your website. You know that you're going to feel so much better when these tasks are completed, but you don't do them. Why is that? Why do we do this to ourselves? And what's the solution to that problem? Hi, I'm Sharon Christie, founder and CEO of Bold Women Lawyers, a business coaching service for women lawyers in solo and small firm practice. And I'm the author of the Solo Success Guide. I've been a lawyer for a long time. And for the last 16 years, when I was a practicing lawyer, I had a solo firm. Now, in the beginning of that solo practice, I procrastinated a lot until I realized it was making me poor, and I knew that I had to find a solution. So the first thing I did was to make a list of everything that I was putting off. Then I ranked each activity according to how important it was in moving cases forward. Now, understand that I handled cases on a contingent fee basis, which meant that I was only going to get paid if I could move the case to resolution, and a favorable resolution. So first, I had to figure out, what do I have to do to get these cases moving? And then I had to decide whether the particular activities were things that could only be done by the lawyer, that was me, or were they tasks that could be done just as well, if not better, frankly, by my team, by a paralegal or a legal assistant, or maybe a virtual assistant. And if the task could be done by someone else, I assigned it to them. Now, for the tasks that could only be done by me as the lawyer, I assigned a specific day and a specific time to get it done. And for myself, I needed to schedule all of that in the morning, because I found that once I dug into whatever it was I was putting off, first thing in the morning, I would get it done, I would get it off my plate, and that would make the rest of the day so much better. That would free up the rest of the day to do those things that I really did enjoy doing in business and in the law practice. And I knew that I had already accomplished something that was tough for me, and I could move on to the things I enjoyed more. Now, I also bought an old-fashioned kitchen timer that I put right on my desk, and I would set it for the amount of time that I had set aside to perform that particular task. And it's funny, we all hear this, but it's true that activities will expand to fill the time that you give it. Now, I had been doing this long enough as a lawyer that I knew how much time it really should take me to do whatever it was I was doing, reviewing medical records, preparing for a hearing, preparing for a client call, whatever it is I needed to do. I pretty well knew how long it was going to take. So I could use that kitchen timer very effectively. So if you are not sure how long something's going to take, just be reasonable in your estimate, figure out how much time you think it will take. Over time, you will learn more and more how close you are and how much time you have to give certain activities. But I would do that. I would set that timer. It would go off. And the thing that really helped me, rather than using my phone or my watch, was that timer was right there in front of me. And if I was tempted to get up from my desk and go do something else, or start scrolling through social media, which I had turned off, or, turn it back on, turn my emails back on, whatever it was I was going to do to distract myself, I would look at that timer and say, I've only got 30 minutes left to finish this task. Let me get going. The other thing I did was I scheduled a fun break when the activity was finished. Now, fun within the context of the workday. But maybe I would take 15 or 20 minutes and read a book for pleasure, or I'd take a walk or go get a coffee or talk to a friend. But I would give myself a reward once I finished that task that for me was a tough one to do, because that was something that I could look forward to when the task was over. And here's what I found doing that. The tasks that I was putting off weren't nearly as difficult as I had imagined them to be. And when I finished them, I felt great. I felt full of energy, and I was ready to move forward with the rest of my day. So I found that when I looked at procrastination, there are some themes that emerged. Because the question I had, which we all have, is why am I putting off this activity? And I found that there were really three things. A, it was boring. I knew it was just not going to be an engaging activity. I was not going to be that interested in it. It was boring, but I had to do it as the lawyer, so I needed to get it done. Or it was something that I just didn't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. And I found this a lot, frankly, a lot more in the marketing and business side of things. I just didn't know where to get started and how to get started. The third category of reasons for procrastination was that I believed it would take a long time to complete, and I didn't have the time right then. None of that was actually true, well, except for the boring part. Okay, some stuff's just boring, and you just have to sort of suck it up and say, okay, this is boring and I'm going to get through it. But the other two categories, when I really got into it, maybe I didn't know exactly where to start on certain things, but I just jumped in and got going, and I figured it out. And my belief that, oh, this is going to take a long time. Well, I really found that, again, once I got into it and was focused, it didn't take nearly as long as I expected. So if you're finding yourself consistently putting off work that you need to do to move your business forward, follow these steps. The first thing you do is ask yourself why. Why am I putting this off? Just recognize why you're doing it, okay? Secondly, make a list of what you need to get done, and then rank all of those activities according to how important they are to move the business forward, because you're going to get them done in that order. The most important things you want to get done first. Third, figure out what you have to do as the lawyer, and only you can do it, versus what you can assign to a team member, to one of your assistants, and then assign the tasks accordingly. The fourth thing is schedule the day and time that you are going to do those tasks. And on that day and time, get a timer, get a kitchen timer, or use your watch or your phone, whatever works for you. But set that timer and watch the time and work until you get that task done. And then fifth, when you're finished, celebrate. Give yourself a little break. Now, something that I found invaluable in this whole process was accountability. I could hold my team accountable, and I did. But what about me? Who was holding me accountable? And for me, my answer was a business coach. She asked me to report at the beginning of the week what I needed to accomplish, and then at the end of the week, what I did accomplish. And I didn't have to report everything, but it's what are the 3 or 4 or 5 most important things that you need to do this week for your business. And then at the end of the week, were you able to accomplish them? And not in a punitive way, but were you able to do it? And if not, why not? And how can you then, arrange your schedule for the following week to get it done? And I found that knowing that I had to report to somebody what I actually did, that was a powerful motivator. And for me, it just made a lot of difference. So, as you probably already know, running a successful solo or small law firm is exciting, and it's challenging, and it's a lot of work. But you don't have to reinvent the wheel. In fact, you can go to my website, boldwomenlawyers.com, right now and download a free copy of my Solo Success Guide. There's lots of marketing and management tips in there, and I think you'll find it helpful. So you can go get that right now. You can also, if you know that you've got challenges that you need to solve within the next 3 to 6 months, and you're ready to move forward to work on that. Schedule a practice and profit audit with me. We'll spend some time looking at what your biggest challenges are or the biggest goals that you want to achieve in the near term, and figure out, what are some ways to do that and whether it would make sense for us to work together. I can tell you that whether we work together or not, you will walk away from that meeting with at least one, if not more, actionable items that you can implement right away. So if you feel like it's time, to explore that a little bit more, schedule the practice and profit audit with me. I'd be happy to talk to you. I hope you found this helpful, and come back in 2 weeks and you'll see another practice tip.